He is the tinfoil chef, a man with a video love.
Hey y'all, how's it going? Today has been a long day, it seems like, but it's also been a day of reasonable milestones and little victories and little accomplishments and stuff like that. Like, for example, my session with the weed eater on the lawn this morning has brought me to the point where I am now about halfway finished, which means that within 4 or 5 days I should actually be finished with that. And given the time of year and the way the temperatures are going, it should actually be the last mowing of the year once I finally finish it. I have finally gotten around to replacing the aluminum foil lining on the reflectors on my stove and getting the stovetop cleaned up, which means that it looks a whole lot better than it used to. These last several recipes I've done of cooking things on the stove, I have engineered the shots very closely so as not to show the old reflector liners because they were really nasty looking, and I have finally today gotten around to actually replacing them, so I don't have to be concerned about that anymore. I really should have replaced them months ago, but that's one of the things that I've been having a problem with, getting around to actually doing little things like that that needed to be done and doing them when they need to be done. But I'm getting there, doing better about that. I actually got that job done. Also just finished up spending some time on the exercise bike today for the first time in about 5 or 6 days actually. But it's not like I haven't been getting exercise, because like I said, I have been getting out there every day for 30 minutes to an hour, usually in half-hour sessions with the weed eater, working on the lawn. And today I did the lawn session in the morning, and this evening I did a session on the exercise bike to kind of beef up the exercise level a little bit. It's easier to get to the exercise these days because, frankly, it's a lot cooler. Getting down into the low 30s, like 31, 32 degrees at night. The highs during the day is about 55. And so, like I said, it's a lot easier to get around to actually doing the exercise because I don't have to get all hot, sweaty, and nasty like I do in the summertime, which is something I, honest to God, hate doing. Oh, let's see, what else did I do? Oh, yes, that's right. There's another episode of Points of View up on the I Am Not a Hamster channel. I'll have a link for that in the description. Bob cuts loose on some YouTube peeves. And also, things are shaping up very good for tomorrow's Ask TFC episode. If you've got questions of whatever stripe, feel free to get them in there now because it's shaping up to be a good one. There's like 4 or 5 questions in already just on FormSpring, and at least one in the comments that is going to actually result in a mini tutorial within that episode. So be sure to get your questions in. Ask TFC is looking to be kind of interesting. There's at least a couple of those questions that I think are kind of, well, interesting. All I can say is that it seems that I have a fan. And in that regard, I have been noticing over the last week or more that people are subscribing at the rate of 10 and 15 or more per day, and I gotta say, hey, cool! Thank you very much. Keep coming. Keep doing it. That is absolutely great. That is awesome. That is one of the things that is going to count towards increasing viewership enough to convince YouTube that I should, in fact, be a partner. Well, I know there was at least a couple of other things I wanted to say, but I can't for the life of me think of them right now. So, I'm going to get off of here and let the frog get to his business. Take it easy. I'm out of here.
He is the tinfoil chef, and the frog just doesn't give a shit.
Hello, it's Wednesday, November the 17th. I see the ADD has struck again. The thing that the boob forgot to mention is that he managed to lose track of where he was on the orbit. He actually spent half an hour this morning going back to the start and working forward to figure out what the correct number was and where it went off track, which turned out to be November the 7th. It should have been a lot easier than it was. That's why he adopted the format that he's been using in the first place. For example, today is YTO 55-310, the first number being how many days into the orbit he is, the second day being how many days he's got left. The two numbers should always add up to 365. Of course, that simple check does little good when he doesn't pay attention to it. There are 14 new subscribers. Rayan 1995-2009, Ralph 7253, Gorf Rocks 1234, Sexy Hot Babe 486296, BMX02766, MrXxClAuDiOxX, FATALCONNECTENT, DeFineSatan, El Loco 541, Keist Beast 49, Ibicetic 93 Harry, Fanicu TV 210, MrSunlessSea, and Breast Fancier 124589. Welcome and thank you very much for subscribing. Previous question of the day: if you had to pay a tax for farting, how much would it be? Today's question of the day: what are you giggling about? The dirty word of the day: issue.
Here's the tinfoil chef